Sam, long time no see. I sent you an invitation to my wedding, but I was just wondering if you've looked at it yet? After all, you haven't sent me any reply back to it, so I've been a little worried. That's why I've decided it's a good idea to text you. You haven't blocked me or anything, right? I'm not coming. I went all the way to send you a text after all these years, though. You're not even going to show me a little love? You don't have to be that rude when we're both adults now, right? I know you're not even married yet, right? I think you're forgetting some things that may have spoiled the relationship we once had. You took my boyfriend away from me back in high school, and then you were the one to tell me that we'd be cutting ties, right? So if that's the man you're going to be getting married to, then that's nice. But I have not gotten any invite from you yet for the wedding. I don't have it at my place, so... And even if I did get it, I would still say no to coming. Wait, you didn't even get it? I tried so hard to make that card as cute as possible for you. So where the hell did you send that pain-in-the-butt invite? To your house. The only house you'd recognize as being mine is from back when I was in high school with you. I'm no longer at that house anymore. Oh, wait, really? Did you guys end up being too poor to afford that place and had to run away? Maybe your dad's company finally went under and you had to sell that house to pay off the banks? This isn't some kind of a TV show, Riley. Why the hell would you think that was the case for us when you could have said something normal, like us just wanting to move into a new house? Well, when you say you're no longer there, that means you have no money, right? Must suck being poor, huh? Well, I'm about to be, what would you say, wealthy here very soon. Man, this world is so unfair to some people, isn't it? Don't try and make up your own story about me, please. A company was planning on using that land to develop more stores, but they wanted to buy it from us. And since they offered a really good amount of money, we sold the place. Really? Because whether it was a good amount or not, I'm sure you would have had to take that money. There's a limit to how rude I'll let you be to me. So you're being serious, though, about not getting the invitation? I'm sure you're saying you won't come because it's too painful to see the woman that stole your boyfriend in high school get married before you, right? Why do you think I'm living in sadness right now? I don't care that you're getting married. Are we done here? I don't have time to be talking with someone that cut ties with me. I'll take a picture of the invite later and have it sent to you on here, okay? I'm going to be marrying a super elite man at this wedding. And this wedding is going to be so luxurious. And my man's parents are also very affluent and run a company that controls all sorts of resorts around the world. Well, good for you. But I'm a busy woman, so I'm not coming. But it'd be a waste for you not to come to such a beautiful wedding like ours, right? And I'm sure that my man will have a lot of his friends there. That could be good pickings for you. His co-workers will also be there. I don't really need a man right now, so I'm fine. Come on now. Are you really that upset with me because I took your boyfriend away? Are you still shocked by all that? Upset that you couldn't get far with a hunk like him back then? Oh my, this is so sad to see. That's not the reason why, but... And even if that happened to somehow be the case, it was all because of you. So I don't want you saying poor things to me after that. It's your fault for letting me take him. But let's be real, I didn't have to put up much of a fight for him. I'm sure that getting away from you was amazing for him. And that's what really pissed me off. You took my boyfriend from me, and after only a week, you dumped him for yet another man. Well, I'm a really sexy woman, so I have to keep myself entertained. It's funny, because one day you came up to me asking about my boyfriend, since you were my best friend then, and I let you know about him. And not even a day later, you had him in your arms while you laughed at me. And not just that, but you told him all sorts of bad things about me. And I'll never forgive you for making me look like the bad guy in all of that. I'm so scared by the fact that you took all of that so seriously. Well, I have no interest in ever seeing you again after this, so I'm not coming to your wedding. But I wanted to show off my wedding dress to all of my best friends. Have a great wedding. Goodbye. You're really not coming? You'll regret that, Sam. It's going to be an amazing wedding hall and everything. Hey, Sam. I'll be waiting for you at the wedding, okay?
Hey, thanks for coming out to drink. And actually, during that time when we went out drinking, I didn't say this then, but I'm going to be getting married. Do you think you can come see the wedding?
Wait, you're getting married? Congratulations! I honestly never thought you'd be getting married anytime soon, Chris. Wait, you've had a girlfriend all this time?
Oh, come on now. You know that I'm a good-looking guy, right?
I know that, but you never seemed to stick with any of the women you had before, and you've had a lot of them.
Well, this one is a lot different than those other women. We have been going months now, and our love is still strong. And now we're finally planning to get married to one another.
Well, that's great to hear. So are you going to be asking everyone from college to come to the wedding?
I'm thinking of asking everyone that was in club activities with me.
All those people you'd go out drinking with too, huh? When's the wedding going to be?
In about another 3 months on the second Saturday of that month. Do you think you can make it then?
I think I can make it work. After all, this is the wedding of one of my best friends from college, and we went through it all together. So I'll make sure to be all excited when I come.
Do you plan to be going to any other weddings soon?
Well, I told you about the one before, right? About the girl from high school that stole my boyfriend from me.
Oh, that's the story about how she turned on you being good friends and told your boyfriend a bunch of lies about you, right?
Well, she talked to me about a week ago about her wedding. She said she'd invited me to her wedding and wanted me to come.
But didn't you both cut ties in high school?
And that's why I told her no. But she still went on and told me the date and where the event would be held at. She really has no need to be putting herself through all that trouble.
She's a pretty crazy woman, huh?
What's the woman that you'll be marrying like?
She told me that I'm her first true love. She said I'm the first man she's ever dated and the only man she wants to be with for the rest of her life. When she said that, I knew this would work out for me.
Wait, but I mean, like, where did you find her and what does she do? I already know that you have a way with women and all that. I remember in elementary school you had your first girlfriend.
But I mean, you had quite a few boys into you as well, right? And ever since elementary school until now, you've been mainly friends with guys, right? And most of all, you've been close to me, so maybe we're meant for each other. Anyway, I'd love to introduce you to her sometime so that she can tell you about herself instead of me doing it. After the wedding's all over with, you should come over and we can all hang out.
Now that you mention, after the wedding, do you plan to move?
My dad has an apartment he doesn't use anymore, so we'll move into there. It's a very large apartment meant for a family of 4, so it'll be the perfect place for us to start. That'll at least hold us over for 10 or 15 years, right?
I'm looking forward to seeing all your family, so I can't wait for your wedding.
And my parents have been on me about inviting you to the wedding for a week now. My parents only ever had me and always wanted a daughter as well, so they saw you as sort of their own baby girl.
Thank goodness. Let them know that I'm really looking forward to meeting them at the wedding.
Then I'll send you the invitation soon so that you don't forget the date and place. You still live in that house, right?
Well, if you're talking about the house I've been at all this year, it's the same.
Understood. I'll send it tomorrow, so expect it the day after.
You already know that I'm coming, but I'll still make sure to RSVP.
Thank you. I have to be the one to put together the whole guest list, so that'll make it easier for me.
You've always been good at paperwork, right? You always have a good memory, so when it comes to dealing with lists, you never forget a thing. I'll be waiting on that invitation. After all those times telling me you wouldn't come to my wedding, you finally decided to come here? Did you come here on accident or something? I didn't know myself. Just after I saw you a second ago, you burst out laughing at me. Well, I never actually thought that I'd be seeing you come in today. I didn't even notice you during the whole ceremony, but now that we're all partying, I happened to run into you. And that scared the crap out of me before I started to laugh. Are you planning to stay here for the ending of this wedding? Are you sure it's okay for you to still be texting me when you should be getting ready? Don't you have to be in the back or something? I'm fine. I've already gotten myself ready for what all comes next, so don't worry about me. Now tell me, what do you think of my dress and body? Amazing, aren't I? Sure are. I'm surprised. Am I more beautiful than the last time we saw one another? You don't have to compliment me too much, you know. And I want to say, it's okay for you to stick around until the end today, but I didn't invite anyone else from high school. So it'll just be you by yourself today. Is that okay? That's fine with me. Even though we don't have a seat for you? Huh? What do you mean you don't have a seat for me? Well, this is the most important day to me, and I've made sure of that. So I never actually meant for the woman I cut ties with to show up. I was just joking the whole time, yet you seriously came? Of course there's no seat for you. That's fine, because I was invited by the groom. Huh? The groom invited you? What are you talking about? The reason I'm here today is because I said I'd be coming to the groom's wedding. I'm surprised, though. I didn't actually take a good look at who he'd be getting married to. And because it was his wedding today, I just assumed nothing could go wrong here and just came along with only my excitement. But now I can see that you happen to be the woman he's getting married to today. Hold on a minute. What? You already know him? You know Chris? I guess I should have known when you were telling me that he was a wealthy man and both of his parents own a company that has resorts all over the world. Explain all of this to me right now. Why do you know about him and his parents? Don't tell me that ever since you lost your boyfriend to me in high school, you've been planning to steal my fiancé from me, right? I would never do that. Do you think I'm a monster too or something? Then tell me why you know all about Chris. Way back in the day, his family and my family lived right next to one another. Huh? Right next to you guys? He and I ended up going to the same elementary school and the same middle school. And the both of us were really into comic books, so we'd always be hanging out at each other's house and reading them together. What the heck? I had gone over to your house all the time in high school to hang out, and I never once met him. What do you mean he was living right next to you? Didn't you tell me those people living next to you were an old couple? Well, my last year in middle school, Chris's dad ended up having to go overseas for work, and so the rest of his family followed. Huh? But we still stayed in touch while he was out of the country, and when it was time for us to go to college, he had moved back to the U.S. and planned to go to college here. So after talking back and forth about where we'd be going and helping one another out with the admission paperwork, we went to the same college together and graduated together. But don't worry. He and I had grown up like brother and sister, so never once did he or I ever have anything other than sibling love between us. So, you're telling me that Chris and you went to elementary school, middle school, and college together? We were going into 2 different majors in college, but still went and joined the same clubs. And today all those people that were in those clubs with us are here at the wedding as well. So I myself have a seat ready to go, so don't worry about me. And because both his mom and dad are here and are dying to see me, I'm going to be around them talking about my life. Hold on. You haven't said anything unnecessary to them, right? What do you mean by unnecessary things? You know what I'm talking about, right? That's what I want you to keep a secret. Are you talking about all the lies you told? Wait, lies? Did you tell Chris that he was the first man you've ever dated and would be the first man you'd go on forever with? Why do you know about that? Chris really loves himself, all those fantasy comics and stuff. So when you said that to him like some sort of romantic fantasy, he was in your hands. Don't you dare tell them anything that they shouldn't know about. He believes right now that he's the only man I've ever been with. Just as I expected. You're full of lies, right? Well, I haven't said anything to them yet. Do you really think I'm that petty that I'd rather watch you suffer at the cost of ruining his marriage with you today? Sam! So you really are my best friend. You're going to keep all of that a secret for our sakes, right? Well, now that I think about it, I'm talking with him right now. Huh? Talking with him now? About what? I'm talking to him about the story of the person that stole my boyfriend from me back in high school again. And we are talking all about that right now. Even though I did explain this stuff to him back in college. You're joking, right? You know I'm not. He loves talking about our college lives, and so we have been talking about our high school relationships. And that's when I brought it all up to him. Did you tell him today that that friend of yours was me? I just told you. I don't want to ruin this wedding just to watch you suffer, right? I didn't even know you were going to be the bride today at his wedding, so I never thought about mentioning you to him. Thank God. Please, Sam, keep all of that stuff a secret. I do not want to have to run away from all the money he has. Are you aware of everything else that's supposed to happen today at this wedding? I know about the main gist of the wedding, but I left all the details up to Chris to handle. I made sure to put together all the decorations and all the menus for the wedding, and that's about all I helped out with when getting set up today. Well, then you're aware that there will be a speech today that his best friend will do? His best friend will have a speech for us? Wait, that best friend is me. Stop that! Go home right now, you! I don't even want to know what you plan to say today. Do not take away my happiness. Please do not do this to me. I finally found a man with enough money to make me happy. I had a lot of men that I was dating, and he was the one I chose to be the one. You were dating a lot of other men? Wait, that was nothing. Just a lie. Oh, it's getting time for the final ceremony and the speech. They asked me to go and sit down in my seat, so that's what I'm going to do. Wait, please, Sam. Do not do that speech for me. Sam?
I'm in a rush right now, but when everything's been taken care of, I'd like to come and apologize to you.
No, you haven't done anything wrong, so there's no need to apologize to me. You know that this all has to do with that idiot Riley.
But I just could not believe that the best friend from high school that stole your boyfriend was Riley.
Well, that's all in the past now. And so if you're happy with someone like her, then that's totally fine with me. I never really wanted to say all of that in my original speech, by the way. But because of how Riley began to act and throw a fit when I got on stage, and then threw her wine glass at me, I had enough of her.
I'm sorry. I also freaked out a little then and was laughing at first at what happened to you. It was like something out of a drama, so I just couldn't hold my laughter back.
Well, you and I both, Chris. I was laughing too.
The staining from her wine will probably not come out of your dress, huh? I'll make sure to pay for a new one for you.
Don't worry about it. I'll make sure that Riley pays me for it. But before we talk any more about that, what about what happens next with you both?
That's right. I have a few things that I'd like to think about. I know that what happened with you in high school is in the past now, and so some of that could be due to her being young and unaware, but it was her fault in the end.
No, I also think it's just because we were all young back then. Now this is all up to you, what you do next, but since you've always been like a brother to me, I only want the future that's best for you, and nothing else. I think this may take some effort, but it might be worth it to start investigating into her a bit more.
Are there things I need to learn about?
Before she knew that you and I knew one another, she told me that she had lots of men she was dating before she finally chose you.
She had been dating other men? Don't tell me. She was actually with other men besides just me at the time?
I don't like to talk bad about other people, but that chick is full of lies. You are not her first boyfriend, and back when she stole my boyfriend in high school, she lied a bunch about me.
Thank you, Sam. I'll think about this all a lot.
Why is this happening to me? Because of you, my marriage is all over the place now. Because of me? Are you sure this isn't just you getting what you deserve? You told him about all the things that happened between me and you and a bunch more crap. You lied to him about me cheating on him as well. And now he's telling me if he can't trust me enough, he won't be able to stay married to me. And now he's wanting to get a settlement from me. What do you mean I told him some lies about you? I told him all the facts about you, Riley. That's all. Honestly, I had been planning to leave all the past in the past and just give a normal speech about the two of you to celebrate your guys' marriage. And so I was never going to say a thing about your past to anyone there. But then you got up on stage with me and threw your wine glass at me before yelling that I leave the wedding, right? And that was to protect my happiness. Well, only your happiness, right? Excuse me? You made sure to keep yourself happy. You had all sorts of men in love with you so that you had a lot to choose from. And you lied about all of that to Chris, right? You had planned to find one of those men to marry, but then when you saw that Chris had a lot of money, you ditched all those other men and stuck to marrying Chris. But about all those other men you had led to believe would be marrying you, you just threw all their happiness and time in the trash. What's so bad about me doing things like that to make sure I remain happy? Actually, if that's the way you want to live your life, then by all means, you can continue doing so. But Chris had never wanted to marry someone like that and be with them for the rest of his life. And so when he found out about that, he had no choice but to be upset with you. He's only one man, right? You have plenty of others to go out and use. So long as you pay the settlement to Chris, you'll be just fine. Shut your mouth! You came and ruined my wedding when you were uninvited and gave me a bad name for no reason. I'm going to sue you for that. Well, I happen to have one of his father's lawyers at my side right now, so go ahead and talk to him about how you plan to handle that. Huh? You already have a lawyer? Well, yeah, I'm going to need you to pay me back for hitting me with that wine glass and ruining my expensive dress. And you made sure that everyone there got to witness you doing all of that to me. So I think I'm going to have you pay me a lot for that trauma. Hold on now, Sam. Why do I have to be the one paying you? Well, because there are a lot of witnesses to the event, and there were cameras on every wall. Everyone and everything saw you throw that wine glass at me and ruin my dress and happiness. So I'm sorry, but there is just too much evidence showing that you're in the wrong to let go of. Hold on, please. Everyone already wants me to pay for the whole wedding. And the rest of those men that I'd been with while dating Chris are asking for me to pay a settlement for cheating on them. I shouldn't have to pay anyone money for trying to keep myself happy. So that must mean the phrase, "you get what you deserve," works perfectly here then. You have to be frickin' kidding me. This is going to end my life. This is not at all what I had in mind. I was supposed to end up with a husband who would pay for all my wants and needs and could live the rest of my life with a smile on my face. And now my mom and dad won't talk to me anymore, so there's no money for me to give up. I'm about to go out with some friends of mine and Chris's friends from college now. So go ahead and talk to my lawyer about what all you'll need to pay me, okay? Wait a second, Sam! If I'd known that you and Chris were longtime friends, then I would have tried to make up with you. Then this would have never happened to us. We aren't in high school anymore, though. We don't just make up over things like that anymore. Now act like an adult and deal with the consequences for us. After learning the grand total from all the settlements for cheating and lying, as well as for my dress and traumatizing me and for the wedding fee and Chris divorcing her, Riley was left with no money in her bank accounts and was working 18 hours a day to make enough money to pay off all the money she had to borrow. Of course, of the guys she had tried to fall back on to marry and save her, none of them came to her side, and her parents were both done with her as well. She had no place to run away to and will forever be stuck with the debt she has. Unless she can make it into her elderly years and finally have everything paid off.